We continue to make our way parish by parish, talking with a number of officials as daylight is here now and we're able to get a better assessment of what these areas look like and what the future holds. Now we want to bring in Jefferson Parish Councilwoman at Large, Jennifer Van Vrancken. We know JP has been dealing with a lot of power outages along with, just the roadways being impassable in some areas. Just want to get a better idea of what you all are hearing and seeing in your area. And first off, thanks so much for joining us and taking the time to give us this update.
Absolutely. I heard you saying, of course, people have good spirits, which we very much appreciate. We are resilient. I was posting something on social media earlier and trying to bring a little levity to it. I said, this really is your excuse not to do your laundry, not to do your dishes, because we are saying, please don't use a lot of water right now. Because the more we're putting into our sewer system, the more it is strained. So we're asking people really to do two things this morning. We know everybody's anxious to get out, but if people could stay off of the roadways unless they absolutely have to go somewhere. We have so many traffic lights that are out in areas that Entergy is still working to restore power, that if you're out on the roads, it's not going to be the safest condition because of all those traffic lights out, because of lines down, and because of tree limbs still down and not able to be moved yet. So if you can stay off the roads and then again try to conserve water, the way our sewer system is set up in Jefferson Parish, we have several hundred sewer lift stations. Entergy did pass along to us sort of first this morning that they, when the crews could get back out on the streets, they were trying to restore critical infrastructure. So that's our hospitals, that is sewer lift stations. So they are focused on those things that they know we need to get up and running first. But this is the time to really just stay at home, maybe assess the damage in and around your particular property and your neighbors, see if your neighbors need help, and stay off the roads until we can get all the traffic lights functioning, and just the infrastructure back up and running.
And I know you mentioned the traffic lights there, wondering, as we see still 61,000 people without power there across JP, what's sort of the main focus as far as that? Are there any concerns safety-wise? What do you want residents to know?
Well, I know there are large portions of the parish still out, particularly around the Kenner and Metairie areas. But we saw at East Bank and West Bank, we saw outages. At this time, again, all of these things, it is an inconvenience to not have power. We've all been there. But if you could keep one thing in mind, and we all try to say this, when we see lives lost, it is traditionally after the storm. So if people can understand that, now is not the time to put yourself in harm's way. You've made it through the storm. We will restore the power. We will, restore our homes. But stay off of the streets and stay safe. We do know that people had water in their homes, more so than we've seen in past storms in Jefferson. So again, if they would call our Emergency Operations Center or our parish offices to let us know the homes that got water, because that will be important for us to know in the future. Our drainage system just simply could not keep up after a certain amount of water, but home flooding has become more of a rarity, and so we are going to want to know those homes that got water into the home proper so we can document it for FEMA purposes and, other things that will help having an accurate record of that.
So when you said, and I'm sorry, ma'am, I'd stepped away for a second. Brandon Walker here, pleasure to speak to you. It is important, as you mentioned, for folks to call and report the damage so that y'all can have the intelligence, the data going forward to see what to do next. What are some of the conversations you think the Parish Council will have going forward once you get that data on what can be done to keep up?
Right. So I'm born and raised here, and so I have childhood memories of, past storms, a May 3rd flood, a May 9th flood. This will be one where people will remember, getting some water in homes, and that is an unusual occurrence for us. I think what we had as a conversation back then was, how do we make improvements to our drainage system? Are there homes that need to be raised? And so we always keep improving our drainage system anywhere and everywhere we can, and we're very aggressive about that. But as we get a lay of the land in terms of canals having overtopped, waters getting home, it will prompt the next conversation of, how do we keep improving? How do we help people raise homes where they may be at that level of threat? And there are programs to help do that. So again, like we always do after an event, we come together and figure out, okay, what do we learn from this event? And what can we do to make ourselves more resilient for the next time around? That is definitely what we'll be doing once we get past the initial restoration and just getting, basic services back up. It will be how do we best prepare for the future?
Okay, so definitely still stressing, to get that assessment of your home safely, to connect with your officials to let them know, if you did get water to your home for FEMA purposes. Can you share that Emergency Operations Center number that you want people to use one more time with us?
Yes, so 349-5360. That's to the Emergency Operations Center, so 349-5360. If they prefer to send some pictures or email us, they can also do that. It's JPEOC for Jefferson Parish Emergency Operations Center. So JPEOC@jeffparish.gov.
jeffparish.gov. Okay, we're also noting here, Brandon and I, so if people see us down looking at our pages, we're taking notes.
You know that well. Here's the reporter's notebook. Got to get it right.
Exactly. You know exactly what we're talking about here. But okay, well, we just can't thank you enough for taking the time and just relaying a lot of this information in a way that's going to help people, not be stressed. We appreciate the little bit of humor on social media. I saw that, and just reminding people. I'm going to take one thing away from this, and I am not doing any laundry. I might not do any laundry once things happen again.
Not to do the laundry.
But I'm just going to say I'm conserving.
This is one of those bizarre situations where I actually did my laundry beforehand.
I don't want to hear it. I think I have stuff like mildewing in the wash.
I was prepared.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. We do appreciate your help.
Thank you as well. Okay.